Welcome to the Foul Mouth News, where the filters are off and the language is colorful. If you are offended by profanity or vulgarity in general, not to mention political incorrectness, this video is not for you. You have been forewarned. So if you have virgin ears, be prepared because they are about to be violated.
Hello, everyone. So, yeah, the IMF feels threatened with their control over monetary systems, like they did with BRICS. They're feeling threatened in regards to crypto. So now the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, is, basically, quote unquote, suggesting that up to an 85% tax be put on crypto mining. Now, we got an article here from Decrypt that was published on August 15th. I know I'm getting to it a few days late here. I mean, this is like Monday, but it's the better of the articles covering this. There are newer articles like this one from Bitcoinist, but this one is better to go through for a multitude of reasons. So we're going to do that. And I'm also going to include a X post here from this guy Daniel Batten that goes through their bullshit. All right, like I stumbled upon that with the Bitcoinist article. They actually link to it. He goes through and destroys their shit. Like I knew when I saw, because this was one of the first articles I saw from Decrypt here. I knew this was about their monetary bullshit, but he actually brings the receipts, like on the note of like it fucks them financially. So anyway, yeah, this is written by Sebastian Sinclair, and the title here: IMF calls for increased electricity taxes on crypto miners, AI data centers. Now, if you look, the AI data centers, which are way worse in regards to electricity consumption and all that other shit, the AI data centers, oh well, they get a slightly cheaper tax because they're just so much more environmentally friendly, more friendly, because they just happen to supposedly be built in areas where the energy's more greener. They make all these fucking retarded excuses. It's kind of funny. Like, it's pathetic and sad, but on the same note, on levels, it is kind of funny, too, the bullshit that they try to sling. It really is. But anyway, so yeah, the IMF for increased electricity taxes on crypto miners and data centers. I mean, give me a fucking break. Like, yeah, they're calling for that, not for the fact of the environment. Anyway, the IMF said a hike to electricity taxes for crypto miners could curb global emissions while netting governments billions in revenue. Really? If you fucking destroy the crypto industry and the crypto mining industry, make it so that only big corporations are the only ones that are there, they're going to get out of their fucking taxes. They'll find a way. They'll write that shit off. That's how tax code is written in almost every fucking Western country. You fucking dumb retarded bitches. We truly live in fucking clown world these days. Like, I've been saying that way too much, but we live in fucking clown world, the shit they try to push. And so anyway, on Thursday, the International Monetary Fund said an increase in electricity taxes for crypto miners by as much as 85% could play a significant role in curbing global carbon emissions as the organization continues to sound off warnings relating to the industry. No, they're sounding off warnings claiming the environment, but it's about their bottom line. It's about the fact of, we control the petrodollar. How dare they go outside from our economic system? Fuck you. Deal with it. Jesus Christ, you're worried about fucking, you're not worried about, you claim to be worried about BRICS, but you don't put half as much energy into going after BRICS fucking with the petrodollar as you do going after crypto miners, which supposedly Russia is such a big fucking threat to our economic system. But yet, you're more worried about the average Joe who has a crypto mining rig, or they're PC mining it when it's not being used, or whatever else, making a little bank. They're not getting rich. You're worried about small startups that sit there, find a place where they can get cheap power and fucking set up in the United States and try to fucking actually make a profit at this shit. Those are the people that worry you, and it's fucking hilarious because it's not the big, bad, evil ones. It's the little guy. And the reason why you're doing it is because you don't want the little guy to have monetary power. You're the ones that want it. That's despite smaller operations struggling to turn a profit following Bitcoin's halving event in April, which has placed increasing pressure on miners to find more efficient ways to operate. Such a levy would raise annual government revenue to $5.2 billion globally and reduce annual emissions by 100 million tons, around Belgium's current emissions, the IMF wrote in a blog post. Get fucked. Yeah, you pull this shit out of your ass and go, oh my God, it's going to cause us to find unicorn farts. We're going to be able to power the world on them too. Holy fucking Christ. I mean, that's the type of retarded shit that you're like basically trying to, well, you're not pushing this exact type of shit, but it's the idea of that type of shit that you're pushing. Like, unicorn farts will save us all. This tax will save us all. No, if you tax this and all these small places, these small mining operations that are barely turning a profit, now you ain't getting 5.2 billion. Who the fuck are you trying to kid? You're just going to create like a black market type of situation. It's not going to be a market itself, but the idea of like doing shit secretly. You're going to have people setting up fucking like crypto operations in places that you're not going to expect. It's already going on now. You don't think that this is going to drive people to steal power and shit? Are you fucking kidding me? This is going to lead to like the idea of like how like back in the day with grow houses, you know, they'd be like robbing neighbors' power and shit, or someone would be climbing the pole in the middle of the night and fucking running lines, you know, to the fucking house that they're doing a fucking an illegal growing. I mean, what the fuck? It's going to be the same shit. You're criminal. You're going to turn this into like the idea of a criminal fucking enterprise. Because when someone don't pay their taxes, mean, evil fucking taxmen with guns show up at their fucking doors and threaten to shoot them. Oh my God. Anyway, it's unclear whether such a tax hike would directly reduce emissions, as miners have often sought cheaper alternatives in countries with more favorable electricity costs. So yeah, they know this isn't going to work. This is about the fact of controlling fucking crypto. This is about putting a fucking, because they can't fucking destroy it. It's at a point where the critical mass is well past that point. So all they can try to do is drive out the little guy and gain fucking control of it and own that shit. That's what they're trying to do. They want to control crypto because, oh my God, it's competing with the petrodollar. These fucking bitches, their shit's so transparent. And like, they're like, no, we're doing this about the environment. That's like, they can't even like, if you were to like question why you're doing this. All right. Like a typical person lying, they wouldn't be able to look you in the eye and be like, oh, we're doing this because of the environment, as their eyes are like in every other fucking direction except in yours. I mean, this is fucking retarded. Anyway, for artificial intelligence data centers, a targeted tax on electricity would need to be set at 0.32 cents. Like 3.2 cents per kilowatt hour, or 5.2 cents, including air pollution costs, the IMF said. So not only are they going to fucking nail you with a tax, they're going to throw a tax, on top of that tax for air pollution. So they want to get you for 5 cents a kilowatt hour, which a kilowatt hour isn't an hour. That's how much that's a set standard for the use of a kilowatt in an hour. You can use so then they use that for billing purposes. You can use way more than a kilowatt in an hour. So the costs mount up on this shit. And it's like as you're going to see here next, they're like, oh, it's just slightly less. See, the more environmentally detrimental fucking thing that the big corporations that are in bed with IMF shitbags, are doing, which is AI. Oh, we'll give you a cheaper tax. It's just slightly cheaper is what they say here. But then you look and it's like way fucking more. So anyway, it's slightly lower than for crypto because data centers tend to be in locations with greener electricity. This could raise as much as $18 billion annually, it said. So basically, they're slinging bullshit. Well, data centers are where more greener energy is. Really? They've been putting data centers in the middle of nowhere in the United States where you have the idea of like not really green energy. I mean, Jesus Christ, when you're throwing fucking data centers in Utah and all these other fucking flyover states for the Democrats, they don't have green energy. This is a fucking bullshit claim. at least in regards to the U.S. But that's what they're talking about anyways. Oh, they're building data centers in the middle of nowhere where they don't have green energy, but it's greener because they tend to move them into greener places. No, they don't. Who are you trying to kid? They go for wide open spaces in the middle of nowhere. Holy shit. Anyway, it is estimated the environmental impact of both crypto mining and artificial intelligence data centers together now account for 2% of global electricity consumption and nearly 1% of global carbon emissions, the IMF said. Oh my God, I call bullshit. 2% of global electricity consumption. 2%. Bullshit. Because the way that they're doing this, all right, is they're going by the fact, okay, certain areas are going to have more electricity than others. So they're grouping this shit together. I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually grouping, I'm trying to remember where it was. It's an old fucking, like, was it paper? Was it a paper place? In Canada? One of the people I subscribe to on YouTube, he does travel stuff. And he went to this place in Canada on the the West Coast, kind of in the middle of nowhere. That was like a paper place. They had it was a paper place, and company town type of idea. And they have a fucking dam there that was generating electricity and holding water for like the paper making process and shit to process the paper. And crypto company moved in. Because they got all this electricity, it's not really being piped anywhere, and made a deal with the town. I mean, there's only a few people there. It's like a really small town at this point. There's only a couple people, and they all, I think, like live in like one building or some shit. But like moved in, and they're using that electricity from the dam, and I'm sure they're like including that, even though this is off the grid. And yeah, they're making it, they're making it themselves because they're shady like that. Okay, 2%. All right, well, here's the deal. You now have crypto setups that are going solar and shit. Building battery systems, having solar power their shit, wind. You're still going to find a reason to bitch. Oh my God, you're going to be like, oh my God, the environmental impact of making those solar panels. Oh my God, the environmental impact of making those batteries for their battery pack. You're going to do that shit. If they go completely off the grid, you're going to try to find some way to fucking tax it so that you can tax the small guy out of existence. Who are you trying to kid? And this idea of 1% of global carbon emissions, the IMF claims or said, I mean, it's bullshit. Anyway, it follows a recent IMF report in September highlighting both industries' electricity usage, with crypto mining and AI data centers expected to consume as much energy as Japan, the world's fifth largest electricity user, within the next 3 years. Oh my God, Japan is the fifth largest electricity user in an island of how many people? And you're like, oh my God, you're freaking out about crypto, which is going to be way bigger than that consumption, not consumption-wise, but like size-wise in comparison. Kinda. And you're like, oh my God, look at Japan. What the hell is this whataboutism bullshit? Where do you get your fucking, how you fucking create make your argument? What'd you get that from fucking Destiny? From that fucking beta male fucking soy-filled cuck bitch who cucked himself and then had his wife leave him for the other man that he's, I think, still paying the rent on the apartment of because the wife demanded that shit? I mean, he's paying the rent on her apartment, the other man's apartment, and he's divorced from her. And European courts forced him to do it. I mean, what the fuck? Are you going to him for your fucking, on how to fucking make an argument? Because this is whataboutism. I mean, give me a fucking break. Holy shit. I mean, this is what's funny, okay? 1% of global carbon emissions between the two. They make that sound like that's a big thing. That ain't shit, okay? And here's the thing. They're saying it's 1%. You come down here, and here's how much of that is the actual crypto. And this is by 2027. Okay? The IMF estimates that crypto mining alone could contribute. This is why I chose this article, because of this type of shit right here. The IMF estimates that crypto mining alone could contribute to 0.7%, not even a tenth of a percent, of global carbon dioxide emissions by 2027. But wait, I thought the IMF said that it's, like, because they mix it in with the AI data centers, and they're like, oh my God, crypto's even worse. You're saying that both together right now produce 1%. 1% of global carbon emissions. Today, 2024. In 2027, you're saying that it's not even going to, that the crypto mining isn't even going to produce a tenth of 1% of the carbon emissions in 2020 by 2027. So to me, wouldn't it make more sense if you're going to play your fucking retarded tax game, because as a little libertarian, taxation's theft. But if you're going to fucking play a little tax game, wouldn't you actually want to charge more tax to the actual, major cause, as opposed to the little guy who ain't doing shit? Oh, that's right. It's not about the environment. It's not about carbon emissions. It's not about any of that shit. This is about stopping the little guy from getting out from under the thumb of the IMF and the petrodollar and operating an economy outside of your jurisdiction and control. So sad, too bad, go fuck yourself. Anyway, look at this. A direct tax of 4.7 cents per kilowatt hour on electricity used by crypto miners could significantly reduce emissions, aligning the industry with global climate goals. I said, yeah, because you're going to drive crypto miners out of business. And this is what's funny. So this is where they get this thing of a little bit higher, because as they say with the data centers, okay, it's 0.32 cents a kilowatt hour, okay, 0.52 or 5.2, and 3.2 cents, respectively, taking into account air pollution and that. But you're going to do 4.7 cents a kilowatt hour, okay, and there's always a but, okay, after saying, oh, well, it could bring it down in line with shit. Well, that ain't good enough for them. So, let's see what they want to do. The tax hike could increase to 8.9 cents per kilowatt hour when accounting for the broader health impacts of air pollution, representing an 85% increase in electricity costs for miners. So they're going to tack on, they were tacking on what was it? They're tacking on 2 cents for AI. They're tacking on almost double for fucking crypto mining, because, oh my God, the broader health impacts of air pollution. I'm sorry, but a big fucking AI fucking data center is going to produce way more fucking carbon emissions and pollution than some fucking small startup fucking crypto mining thing. Seriously. So, oh my God, it's the environment. No, this is about, again, keeping the petrodollar in control. Go fuck yourself. Fucking, yeah, this does deserve it.
Fucking what the
Rocco.
Fuck, who the fuck?
Take it away.
Fuck this fucking, how did you do fucking fucks? Fuck!
This is why I covered this article as opposed to the other ones, because it doesn't get into this fucking shit. Anyway, such measures could generate $5.2 billion in annual revenue while reducing emissions by approximately 100 million tons, roughly equivalent to Belgium's current emissions, the IMF said. Which, Belgium's emissions ain't shit. So, okay, they're just going to go to China, and China ain't going to tax them. What the fuck? And they're going to be using carbon, not coal plants, not clean coal, but fucking shitty fucking coal plants that spout out fucking, all the shit for the makings of acid rain and that. What the fuck? Besides carbon emissions. Anyway, the IMF conceded the tax hike would need to be a global push to coordinate and close the jurisdictional arbitration that could see miners relocate abroad and undermine those efforts. So yeah, basically this is about global top-down control from the IMF, okay, to keep the petrodollar, okay, in its position that it's in regards to being the de facto means of exchange for goods and services, because crypto is becoming more and more mainstream. And it's getting to a point where it's going to, supplant the petrodollar itself. And they're afraid of that. Oh my God, this is about carbon emissions. No, this is about an alternative economy sprouting up that you don't control, bitch. Anyway, yeah, I covered this well enough. I'm leaving things here. If you've made it this far and haven't already, please like and subscribe. Also, feel free to subscribe over on the other platforms where this channel's content is uploaded to, as well as subscribe and follow over on sites like Minds, Gab, and Parler. Links to each are in the description.